thought we'd do some fun little grid art today. So I've got my cold press watercolor paper taped down. I've got a thinner tape and I'm just sectioning off the page into 6, making sure the tape's secured down, because when you peel away that tape, you want to make sure you get that nice clear line. And I've got the MEILIANG watercolors, and I thought it'd be nice to do like a greeny browny kind of color with some metallic accents. So I've got a medium-sized brush and I'm laying down the paint, just doing it in this sweeping motion, and then a bit of a jaggedy, raggedy kind of edge motion there, coming down the page over those tapes. So I'm sort of pretending the tapes aren't there and I'm just painting my picture and just going over them as though they weren't there at all, and bringing down another layer of paint over the paint that we've already done. So not worrying that the colours are mixing. In fact, I want that to happen because it gives a nice dimension to your picture. And I've added a little bit of black, not too much black because black can really overpower your picture, but just a little bit there. So I've waited till the painting's dry. So we've done our first painting, and then I've grabbed some more colours out of the MEILIANG paint set and I'm just laying over the top. So adding some lines, some dots, some shapes of the brush. In some of the lighter areas, I'm adding a little bit of definition wherever I think it needs a little bit more. So I'm just looking at that picture, looking at the shapes we've got down and adding whatever pops into my head, and just going with it, not worrying too much about it. There's some repeat patterns going down and that's fine, but I'm just trying to find those spaces that might look just that little bit boring and need a little bit of jazzing up. So that's what I'm doing, just filling the page with these lovely shapes. So once I've finished doing this layer, I'm going to let the paints dry, just as usual, let them dry before I then grab my squeegee bottle. So I've got some white acrylic paint in there. It has like a pearlescent look to it, this paint. So not quite plain white, pearlescent looking. And I've just added it to my bottles and thought it'd be fun to draw onto my page. So going up and down, a bit of a squiggly line there. Going around some of the marks we've already made. So I'm doing some straight lines here and some round shapes there, whatever pops into my head really. Adding some little dots, and you can see the raised surface here. I think they look gorgeous when they're all raised like this. And then I'm just going around some of these dark marks. So it's just about jazzing up your picture and looking at it and think, okay, how can I make this more interesting? And these additional lines around these little brown marks definitely make them pop off the page. And you can see it again with these nearly black circles here, and then I'm just adding these lines down the middle. Really fun to use, so easy to use. You can draw with these little bottles or add little marks, as you can see here. And I'm just going with the flow, just filling my page full of this lovely pearlescent white until I've had enough of that really. So once I've finished with my little squeegee bottle, then I'm going to let that all dry as well. And once it's dried, I've grabbed a gold Uniball pen and I've decided to circle around some of these marks here. So just going around, looking at the page, filling it up again and adding just that extra layer of interest. And you could have left it at that point if you wanted to, but me being me, I just wanted to keep on going. So I grabbed the black fine liner and thought, ooh, what could I do with this? What shapes can I line? Let's make it a little bit more interesting and just circle around the marks we've already made. And I love this about this kind of doodly kind of art, is that you can just keep going until you filled your whole page up if you want. It really doesn't matter. It's not as if you're trying to recreate something that you've seen identical. Obviously, you might take inspiration from pieces that you've seen, but what you'll find is that your piece will turn out completely different. And that's great about this kind of art, because it comes from you, it comes from within, and it's your art. So you can identify with it and you can see your thing in it. And that's great feeling when you look at your page and go, oh, That's surprising. I wasn't thinking I was going to end up with this. It's been a bit of a journey, and that's the great thing about this kind of art, that journey that you take, adding the elements, not knowing where you're going with it, and ending up with a lovely little painting. So I'm just adding some dots here and there, circling around some of those paint marks, and I promise you we will come to the stenciling. It is right at the end. It's when I looked at the page and I just thought, oh, I want to carry on, and then I thought, let's get the Lumiere paint. I love this paint, lovely and thick. Let's grab a stencil and let's get our sea sponge. And you can use any sponge, you don't have to have a sea sponge, you can use any acrylic paint. It doesn't really matter. Any stencil, just grab what you've got. And I'm trying to be a little bit careful here because I'm aware that I've did all of my mark making before stenciling. Usually I do it the other way around. I do my stenciling, then my mark making. So I'm trying to look for those little spaces where it just needs a little bit of pepping up. So adding all of that loveliness. And then I thought, let's grab the black fine liner and let's outline these gold marks. Just wanted to make them a little bit more bolder. I wanted them to pop off the page. I wanted it to be a little bit more substantial. So you can see here, I'm even going over some of the marks that I've already made. I'm not worrying about it. I'm just going to go with the flow, look at those gold marks and outline them all just to pretty it up really. So you can see here the stencil is a little bit smudgy, so I'm just outlining where I think the square should be. Might not be on the stencil like that, but it doesn't matter. I'm just having my bit of fun. So I've heated up all the tape and I'm trying to be careful to peel this off, hoping that there's no residue, the paint hasn't seeped under, and I'm just going to pull it up to the camera and you can see all the lovely glitzy gold there, and I think it's turned out really well. I might use these for tags for Christmas presents. I don't know, what would you use them for? Let's see. Please leave me a comment. Love to hear from you. If you like this, please like. And if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe and tick that notification button. And if you want to join, there is a link below. Okay, thanks ever such a lot. See you soon. Bye.